as you guys know, I've been taking on some redstone challenges lately. The first one that I did was the smallest redstone base, and then after that I tried my best to create this tiny redstone security cube consisting of lever combination locks, color combination locks, item combination locks, and also an item frame combination lock, and it all fits within a 5x5 area. This was a headache and it took many hours. But then I thought to myself, well, it's all well and good trying to build the smallest redstone contraption, but wouldn't it be fun to see how much I could do in a short space of time? Say, for example, 1 hour. So behind me, I have got this house that I've constructed for this challenge, and I'm going to try my best to fill it to the brim with lots of interesting redstone contraptions. I've got 60 minutes starting from now. So the first thing that I want to do is create some form of doorbell system and also like a drop-down fence system, which will actually drop down this fence right here to allow the person into the place, and that can only be activated from the inside, or alternatively some form of security system, I guess, which will work out in a little bit. But the first thing that we have to do is we actually have to create a magic button on this one. So this is going to need some redstone right here. In fact, the chances are, if I remember correctly, that's actually going to need to be just a regular block, and then this is going to have to extend down to a redstone torch, which will be taking the redstone output across, so we might as well put it there. Anyway, right, okay, so what we need to do is we need to make sure that this piston right here is being constantly updated by some redstone to actually allow it to open. And the way that I'm going to do that is by using a hopper clock and a comparator. Now, the only thing that I will say about this is that if we build it like that, I don't think that redstone is actually going to update our piston. It does! Okay, brilliant! There is the system! Awesome! We don't have to worry too much about covering it up then. That's what that looks like, and then we just have to run the output from that thing into the bottom of this. And you know what? That's going to be dead simple. All we need to do is have some redstone there, and a redstone torch somewhere. A redstone torch somewhere, and then it just needs to power the piston. Why can my brain not do this? I do not work particularly well under pressure. I think that much is obvious. Boom. Awesome. Okay, so there is... Oh, I guess no, that goes against what I was doing. I wanted that to be a doorbell. Is this a ding-dong? No. This is the most out-of-tune ding-dong I've ever heard. That's getting better. I'm not musically trained. The proper ding-dong is in place, and also I have set up a system that will open our door in preparation when we arrive. Now that's worked pretty well. I actually really like that, and if you listen out, I'd say that's a decent ding-dong. I mean, my ears aren't particularly brilliant, but I think we're around about done with the entrance area. I can't think of too much else I want to do. Maybe we'll return to that later on in the video. For the time being, we have got some inside parts to do, and I think the main thing that I really want to work on here is going up and going down. Probably not going to do too much on this actual floor level here. I think the main thing, if we put in piston, regular piston, that would be pushed up there, that would then extend, and we could have that as our way up. Should we see if we can do this? That button would power that, which means in theory we should only have to... This is like an old school redstone circuit here, making use of the button. Maybe red carpet. I suppose we can change all of this. It's no big deal. Right, okay, repeater set to 2 ticks potentially. And then redstone running round. That should do the trick. No? No, of course not, because it needs to be powering the bottom piston. Okay. So that redstone needs to run down there, and like this. Why does my brain just not work in the slightest when I even put the tiniest time limit on myself? Boom! And it retracts. We've got ourselves an elevator. Right, bed, good, okay, done. Do we try and fit in like a day-night alert type thing? Bedtime system. Yeah, A bunch of things have changed since the previous clip. Number one, I've redesigned this entire piston mechanism so it looks a lot better because the previous one was really ugly, and as you can see, it works in exactly the same way. Number two is that I have actually added in the daylight cycle system, and it's just done using some comparators and some subtracting, and also that daylight sensor up there. And if we set the time to 12,500, then that is just before we're able to sleep, and as you can see, absolutely nothing is happening. But if we set the time to 13,000, then that is exactly the time that we're able to sleep, and the redstone lamp turns on only at that time, which means it's super accurate, which means that we don't waste time spamming on the bed. That is awesome. I'm really impressed that we've managed to get that to fit in, and if you're wondering why the lamp is still on, it's because I have daylight cycle turned off, so even though we're sleeping, it's still dark. Anyway, let's pop back inside, and I think maybe a little bit of storage. Now, I sincerely hope this part of my system works, because I genuinely think it would be one of the coolest things ever, is that we have the storage that's up on the surface, but then we can flick a switch, it drops down the entire floor, taking us down into this area with all of the chests, the ender chest, crafting bench, and also a hidden room off in this direction, which will drop down there. The only thing that I will say is that redstone-wise, I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult. We should just be able to do a standard kind of slime block triple piston extender using various movable objects and repeater timings. And by Jove, is it dark down here. I apologize, you guys can't see a thing. In theory, this circuit right here should hopefully work. Okay, so we're gonna have some things connecting these things up. Redstone dust will be going there. I guess we can drop that down by a block. We can have that as being a transparent object, which means that we shouldn't have to worry about redstone timings or anything like that, or redstone torches. All of that should now be linked up. And if we were to power this thing using a lever or anything, oh, that's promising. That's worked. Sweet. Okay, so this thing actually functions. That should go up and is completely flush with our floor. Look at that thing. Now that is an awesome drop down thingamajig. I don't even know what to call that thing. Right, let's grab ourselves some form of input and try and work out a way to actually run the input down into it. By default, we want this thing to be closed, and that should just about do it. So let's just pop up to the top here, replace all of the areas that we've kind of been punching out as we've been going along. And if we flick this lever, there we go. That will drop us down into the system. We flick the lever again. That will pop us up to the top. A lot of double and triple piston extenders involved in this build so far, but we have got some cool things going on. That's like, I'm going to leave that in. That doesn't hurt anyone. It doesn't break it, and it looks great. Okay, now we just need to work out what we're going to do in this hidden room down at the bottom right here. We're about halfway through our time. I'm trying so hard to think of what could go inside here. We have such a cool little setup here with the armory and everything. I think that's fantastic. But what could you have down at the bottom? I mean, obviously one of my natural things to do, when in doubt, build an armor equipping station, because those things look brilliant and they're really simple. In fact, well, that'll just about do it. Okay, so that's the armor equipping station done. Oh, what can go in this area? Okay, an infinite water source, once again, is a really handy thing to have in a base. It's not exactly very exciting, though, is it? In the grand scheme of things. We'll place it in, and we'll make sure that it goes around like that. Okay, that's brilliant. Oh, maybe a potion brewing station. Or a nano farm. I've come up with a ridiculous plan, and it's something that I'm going to stick with just because I think it will be epic, and it's something that I've never really had before in any of my piston houses. So we're going to have a branch mine down at the bottom here. Now there's nothing exciting about that in particular. However, we are going to have an item sending and receiving system, which you're going to build in. I don't know if this was strictly stated in the rules, but I have used a little bit of MC Edit right here, just to make sure that the item elevator that we're constructing is in fact made entirely of solid blocks, because I don't want to deal with those sorts of issues right now. So this is the item elevator, and all of our items are going to travel up through this area right here, all the way up to the top. So all we need to do is make sure that this dropper will send out the items when it receives a redstone signal. And to do that, we're going to use my favorite good old-fashioned redstone circuit, which should hopefully be nice and quick to build. Right, redstone. Okay. I can't even remember how to build it. I think it's redstone up there, blocks on either side, a block up like that, and then we need redstone dust and a repeater right there. And if we chuck an item inside this dropper, we should hopefully see. Good. Okay. Now let's go up to the top of our super fancy looking branch mine. Yeah, in usual circumstances, I would do a better job of the decorating. And we'll see if these items are actually making it up behind these chests right here. By the look of things, they are. Alright, so then we just need to connect hoppers into the backs of these chests. And that means that we have an automatic system which will be sending items from the bottom of the mine into the mining supplies chests. Now that, I don't know guys, I'd say that's pretty cool. With such little time left to go, there's very few redstone contraptions that I could conceivably build, but one of the things I really want to have in this system right here, if time will allow it, is an auto torch dropping system. So we can flick a lever and that will drop out a whole bunch of torches into our inventory. Now let's see. Yeah. In fact, I definitely think we're going to be able to do this. This is only going to take a couple seconds. Boom, boom, boom. Redstone, redstone. And then that's where our lever is going to be going. Torches. Okay. And torch. Awesome. Okay, you know what? I think we actually could build another one, and this one could be for food, because I always forget to bring food down into the mine. So if we place 2 redstone torches on either side once again, you can see how fast I'm working. I've never clicked so fast in my life. There we go. And that is going to be for food. Steak. Oh my word, I'm working too fast. My hands are going to set on fire. Right, there we go. Flick that one. We get ourselves some food, we flick this one, we get ourselves some torches, and I think the final thing that I want to do is just do a tiny bit of prettying of this area right here. And I think that is just about going to do it. Ah! And there we go. We are done. We have completely run out of time. And this is the piston house that we've managed to construct. Now, I have to say, I'm actually pretty proud of this thing. Firstly, I think we should probably set the time to day so that we can see exactly what's going on. But if we pop out the front, we'll get things started from the outside. So the first thing that we did was create a doorbell system with a magic button, a drop-down fence, and also a timing circuit which runs into our door. There you go, there was the doorbell. There is the door opening. We are now inside the base. The next thing that we did was create this tiny little elevator system. We actually did that twice. That pops up into this floor right here. And then up here, we also have the bedtime alert system, which will let us know exactly to the second when we are able to sleep, which is super, super handy. So that redstone lamp will turn on as soon as we're able to sleep, which means we know we're able to sleep. Then we have this system right here, which is our drop-down armory storage system, which drops down to the bottom there. We've got access to a whole bunch of chests, crafting bench, ender chest, another chest, some anvils and things like that. Then, of course, we have got our armor equipping station, which doesn't actually have any armor on the inside, but if it did, then it would work just a little bit like that. We're now fully equipped. Awesome. Now, one of the big things that we constructed right towards the end of this video is, of course, the smart mining system. So say, for example, I'm down in my mine shaft and I managed to get myself, I don't know, a whole bunch of stone. And for some reason, I wanted to transport this stone upwards and store it inside the storage system. That would actually happen automatically. So I could keep mining, and then I could just drop the items off inside that chest right there. The items would be taken upwards, and they would end up in this chest. Which they do. Whew, I started getting scared then. So we go. This system works. The piston house is completed. I personally am chuffed a bit with how much we managed to achieve in such a short space of time. It was a tiny bit stressful, but I hope that you enjoyed it. And I also want you guys to take on this challenge for yourselves. See what sort of piston house you guys can build within the hour. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Send me the links on Twitter and everything like that, because you guys are better than me. Let's be honest. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please sure to that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and of course, check out the latest film that just released on the filming channel. Came out yesterday. It's a good one.